Today, we'll be going through every single one of Sasuke Uchiha's 12 forms throughout the course of the Naruto and Boruto series, as well as one bonus form at the end. We're going to start from his very first form and work our way up to his strongest. Then we'll talk about where he ends up in Boruto, because let me tell you, Sasuke's latest form is something that literally no one could have predicted. Make sure to like and subscribe. And with that, let's begin, starting with Sasuke's first form. We have the 7-year-old Sasuke. Although he was an excellent student who always got top grades, he was nowhere near as impressive as Itachi at his age. His father was kind of disappointed, so he started not paying enough attention to him. Itachi noticed this and always made sure to give Sasuke enough attention and recognition. In fact, Itachi would even order his father to spend more time with Sasuke. Though what's ironic is how as Itachi distanced himself, especially after Shisui's death, Fugaku started paying Sasuke more attention. He is the one who taught him the great fireball technique, which little Sasuke was able to learn in just 1 week. Now, when Sasuke asks his father about what's up with Itachi, because after all, Itachi had been distancing himself from his family and his clan, his father replies that not even he understands Itachi anymore. Of course, Sasuke still loved his brother, yet he could never have imagined how that love was about to turn into pure hatred. This brings us to the night of the massacre. By the time Sasuke comes home, everyone is already dead. He asks Itachi what happened, and Itachi responds with a Tsukuyomi. This move forces Sasuke to see visions of Itachi murdering their family again and again and again. We don't know if this one was for 24 hours or 72 hours, but either way, it's messed up to do that to your own brother. Itachi wasn't done yet though. He instills even more fear and hatred in Sasuke's heart. He tells him to get his own Mangekyo so he can be a good challenge. And in response to this, at the age of 7, Sasuke awakens the Sharingan. But let me tell you that it would take years before he'll be able to use the Sharingan again. Moving on to form number 2, we have the 2 Tomoe Sharingan Sasuke. First, we have to look at how Sasuke starts off as a Genin. He graduates from the academy at age 12, and he makes it clear to Team 7 that his only goal is to kill Itachi. During his bell test, he comes the closest to actually taking a bell. He's clearly on another level in comparison to Naruto and Sakura. In fact, he even manages to stop Kakashi from reading that suspicious Icha series he's always reading. Keep in mind that it's written by Jiraiya and most likely not fit to be read in public. Now, what about the Sharingan? Well, you see, since the night he awakened it, Sasuke did not use it again until 5 years later during his battle against Haku. The fight begins, and Haku immediately imprisons him with ice crystal mirrors. Naruto tries to help, but he just ends up stuck inside the trap too. Sasuke tries his fire release to melt the ice, but it doesn't work. The situation looks hopeless as Haku starts spamming metal needles. However, this is where Sasuke finally locks in. Haku prepares to fire another load of needles, and for the first time since the night of the massacre, Sasuke uses the Sharingan. It's 1 Tomoe in one eye and 2 Tomoe in the other. This allows Sasuke to keep up with Haku's speed, but we don't get to see much because he soon uses himself as a shield to protect Naruto. The next time we see it in action is right before the Chunin exams. I'm talking about when Sasuke fights everyone's favorite, Rock Lee, but he gets brutally mogged right away. Even though he uses his Sharingan, his body simply cannot keep up with Lee's movements. So what does this mean? Is this form of Sasuke weak? Well, the answer is actually yes. If he's below Lee, he's not going to stand any chance against a true top-tier Genin like Neji, who is the prodigy of the Hyuga clan. Form number 3 is Curse Mark Sasuke. During the second stage of the Chunin exams, which involves the Forest of Death, Team 7 has a face-off with Orochimaru, who, as you can expect, is way too overpowered for them. Naruto tries acting tough, but gets rendered unconscious. However, his performance was enough to make Sasuke lock in as well. He uses his Sharingan and then the Dragon Flame Jutsu, and while it does nothing, it impresses Orochimaru to the point where he glazes Sasuke and straight up says that his Sharingan is better than Itachi's. Orochimaru then leaves the curse mark on Sasuke's body, which leads to the birth of Curse Mark Sasuke. Although he passes out at first from the pain caused by the mark, when he is up again and he sees that Sakura has been hurt, the curse mark starts acting up. Sasuke's body is filled with flame-like markings across his face, arms, and body. He attacks Zaku, who claims to be the one who hurt Sakura, and this leads to that classic moment where Sasuke breaks both of his arms. At this point, Sasuke is a true menace. Next, during the preliminary round where he fights Yoroi from Orochimaru's Sound Village, Kakashi explains that the curse mark would disqualify him. Sasuke has to fight without using his chakra, but even so, with just pure taijutsu, using what he had learned from his fight with Lee, Sasuke invents his own taijutsu special move, the Lion Combo, to defeat Yoroi. Following this, Kakashi uses the evil sealing method on the mark so it doesn't start acting out again, at least not as often, which is basically like taking ibuprofen for a much bigger problem, because we all know that seal isn't going to hold forever, and soon enough, Sasuke will need that curse mark power again, whether he wants it or not. Form number 4 is post-Kakashi training Sasuke. He spends an entire month training with Kakashi and learns Chidori as well as Lee's high-speed taijutsu. jutsu, both of which are for the purpose of helping him effectively fight Gaara's sand defense. And sure enough, during their fight, Sasuke's speed is at the level where Gaara cannot block everything. Even when Gaara creates a shield around himself, Sasuke destroys it with Chidori. Unfortunately, the entire fiasco with Orochimaru happens, and the fight pauses right there. Now, how strong do you think this form of Sasuke is? If he had fought Naruto or Neji in the final rounds of the Chunin exams instead of Gaara, could he have won? Well, let me know your answers down below. Anyway, Sasuke versus Gaara resumes in the forest, where Sasuke is able to land another successful Chidori on Gaara, which is impressive considering how it's a version of Gaara that has already started his partial transformation into the One-Tails. And then, even though he can only use Chidori twice a day, Sasuke uses his curse mark to land a third Chidori. But that was his limit. He couldn't physically go on anymore. He was going to die if it weren't for Naruto and Sakura entering the chat when they did. Fast forward to a bit later, when Sasuke sees what happened to Kakashi and how his brother is now looking for Naruto. He finds Itachi right after Itachi finds Naruto. Sasuke exudes aura as he calls his brother by his full name and tells him that he's going to kill him. But Itachi neutralizes him by simply grabbing his arm. Jiraiya then appears, but since Sasuke wants to have a one-on-one with Itachi, their confrontation continues. And Itachi uses Tsukuyomi on Sasuke again, which causes him to watch his parents' death on loop in 4K for 72 hours straight. He recovers roughly a week later thanks to Tsunade, but immediately wants to throw hands with Naruto for two reasons, and both of them are about Sasuke's self-awareness that he sucks. He feels he sucks because Itachi is stronger than him, and he also feels he sucks because even Naruto seems to have surpassed him. This leads to that iconic scene at the roof of the hospital where Sasuke uses Chidori and Naruto uses Rasengan. Although Kakashi deflects their attacks, we all remember Sasuke's flabbergasted face when he saw what happened to the water tank that Naruto's Rasengan hit. It was at that moment Sasuke realized that the show is called Naruto and not Sasuke. Now, form number 5 is 3 Tomoe Sharingan Sasuke. Sasuke leaves the village with the sound 4 to join Orochimaru. In his mind, that is the only way he can get strong enough to eventually take down Itachi. Even when Naruto stops him at the Valley of the End and points out that Orochimaru just wants his body, Sasuke does not care. He's fine with it as long as he gets his revenge. Next, the fight they had started at the roof of the hospital, which Kakashi had interrupted, resumes. Naruto's talk no jutsu plus Naruto's familial love bombing fills Sasuke with enough conflicting emotional pain that it finally awakens his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. That's it. He now has an edge on Naruto. He even starts talking about how killing Naruto would help him gain the Mangekyo Sharingan. But the edge only lasts so long before the Nine-Tails chakra takes over, and Sasuke is no longer able to keep up with Naruto. Naruto's one-tailed form is too much for him, but guess what? Sasuke experiences another evolution during this fight that we're going to count as a part of this form. We're talking about the Curse Mark Stage 2 form. In this stage, Sasuke's skin turns dark gray, his hair grows out and turns dark blue, and he actually grows wings from his back. He can even use them to fly. This leads us to one of the most legendary scenes in anime history, right in the middle of the Valley of the End. Curse Mark Stage 2 Sasuke clashes with one-tailed Naruto. It's a head-on collision between the Rasengan and the Chidori. In the aftermath of this, Sasuke, who won the clash, does not kill Naruto. He leaves his headband and then goes straight to Orochimaru. Alright, that was the final form of Sasuke before the time skip. Form number 6 is post-time skip Sasuke. It's been 2.5 years since he left the village. He spent that time training with Orochimaru, and although Naruto also trained with Jiraiya, who is one of the Sannin as well, the aura gap between post-time skip Naruto and post-time skip Sasuke is crazy. During his confrontation with the new Team 7, Sasuke aura farms and mocks all of them so naturally and casually that you can't help but laugh. Even when Naruto tries tapping into the Nine-Tails, Sasuke's Sharingan has been refined to the point that he's able to enter Naruto's mind and suppress the Nine-Tails. Even the Nine-Tails is a bit surprised here. He mentions that Sasuke feels like Madara to him. Of course, if he's packing that much aura, there's no way he's going to let things go Orochimaru's way, which is why, after Sasuke realizes that there's nothing else Orochimaru can teach him, he decides to get rid of him. You see, when Orochimaru tries to take Sasuke's body, now that the host he had been using for the past 2.5 years was basically done, Sasuke repels him. Orochimaru still manages to enter Sasuke's mind with his living corpse reincarnation technique, but Sasuke pulls out an Uno reverse. He uses demon illusion shackling stakes technique to imprison Orochimaru inside his own subconscious. This brings us to form number 7, Hebi Sasuke. After neutralizing Orochimaru, Sasuke builds a team called Hebi with Suigetsu, Harin, and Jugo. His first major fight in this form is against Deidara of the Akatsuki, and it goes hard. He neutralizes Deidara's tiny C4 bombs with his Chidori, and even when Deidara triggers the kamikaze button, the C0 bomb, which is basically what Vegeta did against Majin Buu, Sasuke simply summons Manda, the giant snake, and uses uses him as a shield while reverse summoning to get out of range. Though, as badass as this fight was, it's not Sasuke's biggest fight in this form. That belongs to his battle with his brother, Itachi Uchiha. The fight begins, and so does the aura farming. Itachi pulls some crazy game with his genjutsu, and then even casts a Tsukuyomi, but Sasuke manages to break out of it, which surprises Itachi because he thought only a Mangekyo Sharingan user could escape the Tsukuyomi. They both switch to fire release, but then Itachi brings out the Amaterasu, which neutralizes Sasuke's great fireball and burns him. It seems like Itachi has won. However, Sasuke sheds his skin. Then, while using Great Dragon Fire Jutsu to distract Itachi, he strikes him with lightning release Kirin. This time, it looks like Sasuke has won, but as it turns out, Itachi used the Susanoo to defend himself. Now, at this point, Sasuke is exhausted and desperate, which allows Orochimaru to take over. But Itachi knew this would happen and was prepared. He uses the Totsuka blade to seal Orochimaru away, while also removing the curse mark from Sasuke's body. Finally, their battle ends with Itachi poking Sasuke's forehead with a smile on his face. He apologizes and dies. Well, there you go, Sasuke. You finally got what you wanted. You killed your brother. So what's next? Well, as Sasuke learns the truth about why Itachi did what he did, how it was all to protect him, Tobi, who was actually Obito, also tells him about the history of the Uchiha and the Leaf Village. Sasuke doesn't believe him at first. He brings up how Itachi was serious about killing him, but Obito simply explains that it was all to draw out Orochimaru and get rid of him. Finally, Sasuke accepts the truth that Itachi loved him, and after shedding a decent amount of tears, our boy awakens his Mangekyo Sharingan. That brings us to form number 8, Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke. He rebrands his team from Hebi to Taka and accepts Obito's help in destroying the Leaf Village, although he'll have to help the Akatsuki in exchange. Obito gives them the mission to capture the Eight Tails. So, while wearing the Akatsuki robes, Sasuke's team jumps Killer Bee at the Valley of Clouds and Lightning. Bee hands them disrespect after disrespect, especially when he stops mid-fight to write a few rap verses. But Sasuke ultimately uses Amaterasu to overpower him. They take his body and deliver it to Obito. However, Obito later stops them on their way to the Leaf Village. As it turns out, the bee they delivered was a fake. Now, as they're talking, Setsu pulls up and explains that the Leaf Village has already been destroyed and that Danzo is now the new Hokage. Hearing this, Obito offers Sasuke a deal he knows he won't refuse: to kill Danzo at the 5 Kage Summit to make up for failing to capture the Eight Tails. Obviously, Sasuke, who knows that Danzo was the main mind behind the massacre, is all in. But before that fight, Sasuke has a confrontation with the 4th Raikage, who was hunting Sasuke for what he did to his brother. He uses lightning release chakra mode, and Sasuke barely survives his Liger Bomb attack by suddenly manifesting an immature Susanoo. Sasuke then covers his Susanoo with Amaterasu to make it harder for the Raikage to attack, but the Raikage still lands another blow, even if it means sacrificing his own arm. It becomes clear that he can't overcome Shinobi on the level of the 4th Raikage, especially considering how if he starts spamming his Mangekyo abilities, he won't have any juice left for the coming fight with Danzo. Conveniently, his fight with the Raikage is paused by Gaara, who tries to reason with Sasuke. But Sasuke isn't interested in talking. He escapes with Karin, and later, we see that iconic scene where Sasuke is seen standing upside down on the roof during the 5 Kage Summit. Now, with all the Kage and their bodyguards present, things escalate instantly. Obito has to step in to help, which conveniently creates an opportunity for Sasuke to finally face Danzo. He crushes him with Susanoo and demands to know if the Leaf leadership is the one who ordered Itachi to massacre the Uchiha. Danzo assumes Sasuke learned this from Itachi and has the audacity to call Itachi a traitor to Sasuke's face. This confirms the truth for Sasuke and fuels a level of rage we hadn't seen yet. However, even though he keeps landing fatal wounds, Danzo keeps surviving. It turns out Danzo has 10 Sharingan embedded in his right arm, which he uses to spam Izanagi, the jutsu that lets you rewrite reality and cheat death at the cost of an eye. After Sasuke realizes this, he neatly keeps track of the eyes. During the climax, he uses a subtle genjutsu to make Danzo think he has 1 Sharingan left, when he actually has none. When Danzo tries to trigger Izanagi again, it fails. Danzo gets desperate and takes Karin as a human shield. But since Sasuke is Kakashi's student, he pierces through Karin's vital organs with his Chidori spear and reaches Danzo's heart. Danzo tries to use his final moments to take Sasuke and Obito down with him, using the reverse 4-symbol sealing, but they easily move out of range. Honestly, this version of Sasuke is just so cold, even colder than pain. I mean, when Obito tells him to finish Karin off, he approaches her to bid her farewell. He's genuinely going going to kill her, but Sakura appears and stops him. She claims she wants to join him, even if it means destroying the Leaf Village. Of course, Sasuke knows she's spouting nonsense, so he tells her to kill Karin to prove her loyalty. Then, as Sakura approaches Karin, Sasuke attacks her from behind with the intent to kill, but Kakashi appears just in time to stop him. Kakashi tries out the Talk No Jutsu with him, but Sasuke isn't having it. In fact, he points out that Kakashi's Sharingan is an insult, just another example of Konoha profiting from his clan's blood. At this point, Sasuke's rage causes his Susanoo to evolve further, but he is now on the verge of blindness, just like Itachi was. Because of how much he has abused Mangekyo in such a short period of time, especially against Danzo, it's only a matter of time before he permanently loses his eyesight. Anyway, he tries to kill Sakura again, but is stopped this time by Naruto. They clash, and Sasuke makes his goal of killing everyone in the leaf painfully clear. He also offers Naruto a choice: either kill him to save the village, or die by his hand. They part ways after Naruto points out that the next time they fight, they'll both die, to which Sasuke simply replies that he'll kill Naruto first. Moving on to form number 9, we've got Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke. After transplanting Itachi's eyes, Sasuke awakens the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. He tests it out by incinerating multiple white Zetsu with Amaterasu. Then, as Sasuke sets out to find Naruto and do what he said he would, he comes across the reanimated Itachi. They finally have a conversation where Itachi admits he manipulated Sasuke's life so that he holds him accountable for what he did, and also becomes a hero for killing him. This angers Sasuke, but he keeps following Itachi, and they end up at Kabuto's hideout. Then, even though he wants to destroy the Leaf Village, Sasuke joins forces with his brother to stop the impure world reincarnation jutsu. The brothers work together. While Sasuke handles the offense, Itachi prepares Izanami, the ultimate counter to Izanagi, to trap Kabuto in an infinite mental loop until he accepts his true self. Then, as the reanimation jutsu is undone, and Sasuke tells Itachi that he can't forgive the Leaf Village for taking his clan and his brother from him, and that he still intends to destroy the village, Itachi responds that he can't change his mind. He simply apologizes, pulls Sasuke close, and delivers his final words: "No matter what you decide to do from here on out, I will love you always." This single sentence changes everything. It causes Sasuke's desire for revenge to finally waver. He decides he needs to understand what a village and a shinobi truly are before making his next move. So, he resurrects Orochimaru via Anko's cursed seal to help him find the answers. Orochimaru leads Sasuke to the Naka Shrine, where they reanimate the first 4 Hokage. Sasuke asks them about what the Leaf Village is and what it was intended to be, and after hearing the first Hokage's story and the Will of Fire, he realizes that destroying the Leaf Village would render Itachi's life meaningless. He resolves to protect the village. He enters the 4th Great Ninja War on the side of the allied shinobi forces and announces his new goal: to become Hokage and revolutionize the entire shinobi system to make sure a tragedy like the Uchiha Massacre never happens again. But now's not the time for that kind of conversation, as Obito soon becomes the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. Sasuke realizes that physical attacks and standard ninjutsu are useless against the truth-seeking balls, and alongside Naruto, he realizes Obito's only weakness is Senjutsu. Sasuke adapts by having Jugo imbue his Susanoo with natural energy. Then, he even coats Naruto's Tail Beast Mode with his Susanoo armor, which is what we call Majestic Attire Susanoo. However, once Madara is resurrected, he stabs Sasuke through the heart with his own sword. Okay, form number 10 is Rinnegan Sasuke. After what Madara did to him, Sasuke ends up between life and death, where he meets the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. He recognizes Sasuke as the reincarnation of his son, Indra, and shares his story with him, and grants him the Six Paths Yin power, which awakens a Rinnegan in Sasuke's left eye. Naruto, on the other hand, is given the Yang power. Now, with his new eye, Sasuke gains the ability Amanote Jikara, which allows him to instantly switch places with objects or people. He uses this to keep pace with Ten-Tails Madara. In fact, he's even able to see Madara's Limbo clones. Ultimately, while Madara succeeds in casting the Infinite Tsukuyomi, Sasuke uses his complete body Susanoo to shield Team 7 from the light. And then, the joke's on Madara, because right as he achieves his goal, the whole thing turns out to be a scam. He is betrayed by Black Zetsu, who uses his body to revive Kaguya. This leads to a multi-dimensional battle against Kaguya, where they are transported through various dimensions, like lava, ice, and sand. The stakes had never been higher, but ultimately, after Obito sacrifices himself to save them, and Kakashi awakens his dual Mangekyo Sharingan, Team 7 coordinates a final strike, with the setup from Kakashi, a punch from Sakura, and the combined yin-yang powers of Naruto and Sasuke. They use Six Paths Chibaku Tensei to seal Kaguya. Now, before we continue and talk about the Boruto forms, there is an evolution of Sasuke's Rinnegan form that we need to talk about. It's not exactly a separate form, it's just where Sasuke brings out everything he can do with the Six Paths Yin power. He traps the tailed beasts in a genjutsu and declares that he intends to kill the 5 Kage as well as Naruto to become a true Hokage, one who will rule the entire shinobi world while shouldering all of their their hatred by himself. This leads to the final fight between Sasuke and Naruto. They return to the Valley of the End, where Sasuke channels the chakra of all 9 tailed beasts into his Susanoo to reach his ultimate form, Indra's Susanoo. Naruto merges with the avatars of 2 shadow clones to match him. They clash, Sasuke using Indra's arrow, which is still Sasuke's strongest known offensive technique, while Naruto uses the 6 Paths Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken. This destroys the valley and depletes their chakra, so they start fighting with their bare fists instead. In their final clash, an explosion takes an arm from both of them. As they lay side by side and unable to move, Sasuke once again asks Naruto why he won't give up on him. Naruto explains that he feels Sasuke's pain as his own, and although Naruto's answer is fundamentally the same as every other time Sasuke asked him something similar, this one hits home. Sasuke finally admits defeat, apologizes to Sakura, and together they use a shared hand seal to release the world from the infinite Tsukuyomi. Sasuke then leaves on a journey of redemption. Time for form number 11, which is his first Boruto form, Adult Sasuke. He has been wandering around the world and exploring other dimensions using his Rinnegan to investigate Kaguya. He also eventually realized that she created the White Zetsu army to defend against an even greater threat from her own clan. Also, one day, while he's back in the village, Boruto asks Sasuke to be his teacher so he can surpass his father. Sasuke agrees on one condition: Boruto must master the Rasengan. Sasuke is impressed when Boruto unintentionally adds lightning-style chakra to the move, and he begins mentoring the boy. Fast forward to the Chunin exams, Kinshiki and Momoshiki, the threat Kaguya was preparing for, finally enters the chat. Naruto gets captured, and Sasuke, alongside Boruto and the other 4 Kage, heads to another dimension to get Naruto back. There, Sasuke and Naruto combine their tailed beast mode and Susanoo to overwhelm a powered-up Momoshiki. Ultimately, Sasuke creates an opening for Boruto to land a parent-child Rasengan fueled by Naruto's chakra. Now, Sasuke spends a rare few days with Sakura and Sarada. He also acknowledges Boruto as his official pupil, and at this point, he is at his strongest that he's ever been. Although he doesn't have the same chakra reserves he had when he used all the tailed beasts, his mastery of the Rinnegan is on a completely different level. But how long will he stay strong like this? Form number 12 is Rinnegan-less Sasuke. During the battle against Ishiki Otsutsuki, both Naruto and Sasuke are so outmatched, it's not even funny. Naruto somehow manages to take care of Ishiki by using Baryon Mode, but just as Naruto loses the 9 tails, Sasuke is ambushed by a Momoshiki-controlled Boruto, Borushiki, who stabs Sasuke's left eye and destroys the Rinnegan. Now, this does not mean he becomes a pushover. He still has his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and he is still proactive. For example, Sasuke tells Naruto that if Boruto is fully overtaken, he will be the one to kill him. Next, Naruto and Hinata get sealed by Kawaki, and Ada's omnipotence swaps the lives of Boruto and Kawaki. Like everyone else, Sasuke's memories are altered. He remembers Kawaki as Naruto's son, and Boruto as the outsider who killed the 7th Hokage. However, despite the false memories, as he sees Sarada awaken her Mangekyo and beg him to save Boruto, he chooses to trust his daughter over his own memories. He rescues Boruto from Konoha's search party and decides to defect from the village once more, this time to train Boruto in exile. He spends a year training Boruto, and he teaches Boruto literally everything he could. But during an attack by Code and his claw grinds, as Sasuke protects Boruto and even takes one of Code's eyes, he gets bitten by a claw grind, and getting bitten leads to a state that no fan could have ever anticipated. If you're not reading the Boruto manga, it may sound hard to believe, but Sasuke becomes a tree, and his chakra is used to create the human god tree, Hidari. That's right, his current state in the manga is just him inside a tree. It's honestly kind of disrespectful. Naruto gets sent to a private dimension with his wife, while Sasuke is left all alone, fully cramped inside a tree. Now, before we end this video, there's one more bonus form that I promised you guys at the beginning of the video. This form is about Sasuke's revival. When he eventually gets freed from that tree, because let's be real, there's no way they're gonna leave Sasuke as a plant forever, the question becomes, what does he come back with? Does he come back with nothing but his base Eternal Mangekyo? Does he somehow take Hidari's Rinnegan? Or maybe the 6 Paths Yin power allows him to manifest his Rinnegan once again? Or who knows, maybe something even crazier happens. What if something triggers a mutation in Sasuke and causes him to awaken a new dojutsu? Now, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I am saying that Sasuke has been nerfed for way too long. Unlike Naruto, he didn't get his Baryon Mode moment either. So Kishimoto or Ikamoto, whoever's writing Boruto now, has to give him something before the series ends. A true final form that is on the same level as Baryon Mode. If not, even better. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and click on this video next for more great anime content. Go on, check it out!